All right, we're getting close to 12 o'clock. I think we're going to have people jumping in over the next 5 minutes, but we do have a pretty tight agenda today. So I'm going to start going. And this is my colleague, Cheryl. If you can all see her on the screen, she is going to be admitting people and managing the screen, muting, etc. if needed. And my name is Dave. We're both organizers with Dogwood, and we're paid staff who have been with Dogwood for 6 years now. And we're coming to you from different Coast Salish territories. I'm up in Union Bay. I'm right in between Kwakwaka'wakw and Salish territory, so it's I'm in a bit of a gray zone, and I never imagined myself giving a webinar on digital organizing. I've always been a field organizer, and we're used to having most of our conversations face to face, but we're in different times right now, and digital skills are one of the tools that we can use to stay connected to each other. And I've learned a lot over the past 6 years working with some of Dogwood's digital tools. And it's been a journey for me. And so I'm with you if this is new to you. It's been new to me. I have a background, using databases here and there, but actually conducting a digital training, I'm not sure if that's something I thought I would ever do. So welcome. I think we've got a core group here, and today's session is going to be about what we're calling Basecamp. And Basecamp is built on one of Dogwood's 2 digital platforms. This particular platform is called NationBuilder, and the reason we're allowed to do this type of work is because people like you and other supporters around BC are supporting Dogwood. Many of you are small monthly donors who kick in $5 a month. And because there's lots of you doing that, we're able to do things like this. We're able to pay for software tools and pay organizers to use them and do outreach in the community. So I would just like to start today by both acknowledging we're on unceded territory and also thanking all of you for being here, and for those of you who are able to contribute to Dogwood to help make this possible. We are super grateful. These are tough times for everybody, and it's no different for nonprofits. So what I'm going to do today is go over Basecamp. And as I mentioned, Basecamp is built on a organizing system called NationBuilder, and Dogwood has been using NationBuilder for 7 years. Going back to the time when we hired our first digital strategist. His name was Carl Hardeen. Was around the time that NationBuilder as a software company started delivering these digital tools. And Carl was an early user, and in fact, he's responsible for some of NationBuilder's core adaptations of distributed place-based digital organizing. So he was, really fundamental in the development of it. And so we've had a long history using this type of software, some ups, some downs. A lot of it depends on, whether we're doing well financially and can afford to pay digital consultants. It's an expensive field, as anyone who's involved knows. And NationBuilder is a separate web space from our main page. So in effect, Dogwood runs 2 web pages, and both of them are kind of attached to what we call CRMs, so customer relations management systems. So they help us track the data that's associated with organizing work out in the world. So I'm going to share my screen right now and show you what Basecamp looks like and how to get around it. Before I do that, is anyone having technical troubles or having any difficulty hearing? Feel free to unmute and chime in while I'm loading up a screen for you to see. Okay, so this is Basecamp. Basecamp should look fairly familiar to any of you who have used our NationBuilder system before. There are menu bars that run across the top, and there are pages that display when you click the bars. So the lower navigation bar is about all the functions that this site does. They're designed to give you information and to show you what we're up to. We have a second navigation bar up on the top right. Those navigation functions are organizing functions. So they respond to things that you do as a user. So going through the pages that we have on display, first is just a basic one about Dogwood and what we do. It's got our theory of change, our mission, and some of our values. Most of you will have signed up for our event, so you'll be familiar with our events page. And the action pages are something that are new to our system. So these are custom designed pages that act like petitions, but instead of being a petition, they're signing you up to take action with Dogwood. So in this particular case, we've got a local power action page. It tells you a little bit about our campaign and then gives you an opportunity to sign up. So that's something that's different from the pre-existing version of NationBuilder. And we also have more intuitive volunteer information spaces. So for example, we're running a volunteer updates page. This session, I'll post to this page after we're done. And if you've missed events in the past, you can go, for example, here, a local power update, or an interview with Dogwood staff, or an interview with a board member, Seth Klein. So this volunteer navigation bar is just things that we're doing right now. It also gives people a generic option to volunteer with Dogwood and select the area that they're most interested in. It's a little bit like our action page, gives you a bit more information. Our home page is also customized too. So our home page just gives you quick links to the things that we're working on. And this is a new function. We've got a video, and our goal is to keep this up to date. This most recent video is the one we just shot over the weekend based on the Trans Mountain action. We used our Take Action page to recruit people to shifts. They signed up, they were able to go to Burnett. So Basecamp worked really well to support an organizing activity that we're doing. The pages that respond to things that you do are up in the top right, and they are geared towards taking action with Dogwood. So there's a page that shows you how to digitally organize. There's a page that shows you what happens when you take action with Dogwood. So these are leaderboards. And there's a page that just allows you to give feedback if something's not working on the site. So you can see comments that have come in over the past couple of weeks related to events and people having questions. You can always leave a bit of feedback on our contact page. and a staff organizer will get back to you. So that's a quick overview of Basecamp and what it looks like. Does anyone have any immediate questions? If you have a question, you can leave it in the chat, and Cheryl will keep an eye on it, and I'll get back to it. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. So our job as organizers is to engage people, and people like to know a little bit more about other people. So if you look at the bottom left of your screen, you should see some information in small print about your account logging in or logging out. For those of you who received the email this morning, I asked you to, if possible, go into your profile and add a little bit of information. You can upload a picture, and if you're on social media, what typically will happen is NationBuilder will find your social media account and pull in a photo or a bio from your own social media page. So when you get some time, take a look at the profile, add a little bit of information, and essentially what that does is it creates a page on NationBuilder just for you. So I'm going to show you my page. Just hang tight. So this is my page. It's pulled in my social media profile. It's shown some of the things I've been involved with in the last little while. And you can see that up in the URL bar, there's my NationBuilder ID. So it actually creates a web page associated with my actions on the site. You can do the same if you like. And you can also modify that page to only display certain things or nothing at all. So profile pages are there to be used if you like. And the root function is to just show your activity on the site. So as I mentioned, you saw a little ID that showed up on my page. Anytime you take an action on a NationBuilder site, you are going to be assigned an ID. And when you create an account on the site, that identification will be associated with you and your activity. And this is the root way that NationBuilder connects you to other people. I'm going to show you a little bit about NationBuilder's backend right now. Just give me one section.
Oh, you just put the map word in there, Dave. Just have to take
Sorry.
it out.
A second. So all the people who have taken action in British Columbia and elsewhere on Dogwood's site will register IDs and register locations. So in this particular system, we've got about 4,000 people who have taken action, and when their postal code is collected, they show up on a space in the map. And this is the innovation that NationBuilder brought to digital organizing, in that this allows people to start organizing in political jurisdictions. So what you're seeing right now is the back end of NationBuilder. It's the database side. As I mentioned, NationBuilder is a customer relations management system. What kind of makes it unique is it has both the web versions in the front, which I've been showing you, and then it has a database at the back that allows us to organize information spatially, in a sense. So in our system, because Dogwood is a political organization, we have people associated with the ridings where they live in. And showing this map kind of gives you an idea of the scale of support across BC. These are all people who have taken actions since May or within the last year at least, and they're spread out across the country, but of course aggregated in our areas of core support. So I mean, here's the Kootenays, here's southern BC, here's up in the north and over on Hautagouai, getting up into Fort St. John, we've got action takers. And all these people are tracked in the system, and we can associate them with ridings. And with the identification number that you get when you interact with the site, we can then assign you to a point person. And in an optimal world, Dogwood is a strong political force, and we have leaders in every riding, and those leaders are able to see all the people in their riding who take action with Dogwood and use our tools to get in touch. And you just have to pardon me for a second. I have to shut my door.
The joys of COVID, working at home with your kids running around and stuff, right?
Yeah, the kids come and go. So that was a quick peek into the back end of the system. And so I'll take a moment to just stop and check in if there's any questions about NationBuilder, the difference between sort of the front end and the back end.
Sandy's got a question in the chat. Just this doesn't include petition signers, the database.
So the main Dogwood webpage hosts our petitions. And if someone signs a petition and also ticks, I'd like to volunteer, they are synced over to Basecamp. Basecamp, as we mentioned, is our volunteer space. So anyone who's signed a petition will get synced over to NationBuilder, so an organizer can associate their volunteer activity with their interests. This is actually quite complicated because it's one CRM talking to another CRM. And, you know, we have some troubles with this off and on, as Catherine Mast, I'm sure, can tell you, someone who's been using our system for a while. It doesn't always work perfectly, but that's the relationship between the petitions and NationBuilder. If you tick, I want to volunteer in addition to signing, you'll end up in NationBuilder. Any other questions? Go ahead, Joy.
So to sign in, you go to, you Google NationBuilder or Basecamp?
Well, I will put the link in the chat right now, and you can just go right to it.
Okay.
All right, there it is there. You see that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I think I've gone over some of the general functions. Does everyone have an account with NationBuilder, or does anyone not have an account with NationBuilder? Peggy, you don't? No account? Okay. Peggy, you're on mute.
I don't
Carol, can you
know how to set it up. I don't know how to set it up.
Doesn't know how to set it up, yeah. Thanks,
Okay.
Peg.
We can work with you one-on-one after this meeting.
Totally.
show you. If you want to take a crack at it on your own right now, you can click the link that's in the chat and go down to the very bottom left of the screen, and it should say create an account or log in. Okay, I am going to go back to sharing my screen for a second and show you exactly what happens on our take action pages.
Okay, I'm just going to interject for just a sec, Dave. There's a number of people in the chat who are saying they don't have accounts or they're not sure if they have one anymore. That is something we can totally help you with. So after this, if you're having any trouble, we're going to send out an email saying these are the steps to set up an account. If you have any issues at all, just contact Dave or me or Abby, and we can definitely get you in. Sometimes accounts and passwords are just a pain in the neck, but once you have one, you should be all set.
Yeah, and the fact is you don't need an account to use the functions on the site as they are right now. You can go and share, you can sign up to an event, you can share an event, you can post to social media, you can do, or you can help us with all the recruiting functions that are inherent in NationBuilder without, ever creating an account officially, having logins and whatnot. So on the front end of the system, it is designed to be shareable. And as I said, if you go down to the very bottom left corner, you will get the account login information. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the ways that we can share actions on the system. So just give me a second while I bring my screen back up. Okay, so the easiest way to, didn't quite work. The easiest way to share engagement on a particular action is to go to our take action page. So in this example, I'll use local power as an example. So right now, local power, we've got a campaign. We're trying to promote distributed renewable energy as a path towards decarbonization. And we're trying to build teams in communities around southern BC, and of course, as far away as we can manage, to engage the government to do a couple of different things related to renewable energy and decarbonization. So if you were interested in local power and you knew someone who was like-minded, the first thing you would want to do is go to this page and sign up. So if you haven't signed up to take action on local power, when you get down to this space here, it's going to show you all your sign up options. For me, since I've signed in, it's just thanking me. But say I know a friend who is very interested in working on the local power campaign. They talk about renewable energy, they talk about decarbonization, they want to make a difference. These buttons at the top of this page are basically designed to make it very easy for you. So depending on how you like to communicate, you could post to Facebook, you could post to Twitter, or you can email your friend. So in this example, I'll just click on the email. It's going to preload my browser with an email. I will address it to whoever I'm sending it to, write up a little blurb, and you'll notice that in the text of my email is this link. And when I send this email, this link will turn on, and you'll notice that my NationBuilder ID is associated with this page. So when someone clicks on this link, they will go to the page, and if they sign up, what will happen is that person will have a relationship to me. The system will understand that I sent that email and this person took action after receiving the email. So that's one of the ways that we can share using the action page. The other way that we can share is by going to our own organizing page. And when we do that, we're going to get a little bit more information about our recruiter link. So our recruiter link is going to be unique to each of us. It's going to show up. And if we want to get like-minded people together, invite them to events, you think they might be people who want to join you in taking action, you can invite them to this web space by sending them, just copying this bit of text here and emailing it to them or sharing it on Facebook. That's essentially just going to get someone to our site, and any action that they take on the site is associated with you. So sharing is pretty easy on NationBuilder, and it's a great way to introduce people to the digital organizing space. It gives them all sorts of time to basically see what Dogwood is up to and see some of the content that we have available. So your Start Organizing space is great for that. So is the Take Action event, or the Take Action social share links. And then the other sort of easy way that you can share is you'll sign up for an event that's coming up. So August 17th, North Shore Team Zoom call, or we've got a local power picnic here in the Comox Valley. If you sign up to attend that event, you'll be taken to a sign up page, you'll RSVP, you'll receive an email response, and in that email, you'll be given a link. Hey, if you'd like to invite a friend, here's the link. You send that link and the same type of thing happens. The person gets taken directly to the web page or directly to the event. And if they sign up, they're associated with you. So in digital organizing theory, the idea of having recruiter links and sort of sign up contests is a way to tap the social spirit that's out in the organizing world, and NationBuilder makes it quite easy to do that. The way that is reflected is on a leaderboard. So the leaderboard, depending on whether this interests you or not, it's what it basically does is it shows the actions that people are taking right now. So in this case, what we're hoping people will do is send folks to our Take Action page and get them to get involved with our campaigns. So that worked really well with the most recent TMX action. We had a really discrete, focused action to protect Burnett. We needed 15 people per shift, about 105 people, and we used that Take Action page to generate the organizing momentum we needed to make the event a success. We want to do the same thing with our running campaigns. So when we get people to take action on our page, they'll show up on this leaderboard as a recruiter. And so we'll set a goal for 15 signups, and when people use the Take Action functions, they'll show up on the leaderboard, and the same thing goes for getting people to attend our events. They'll show up on the leaderboard if they're able to recruit people to the event. And that's just done with the social share tools and the email share tools and the links on the site that I described. So this is kind of like social capital, contagion theory. It's just part of the mix for digital organizing. And we can change these leaderboards in any way we like to reflect whatever campaign we're doing or whatever we're trying to get people to do. So I'm going to stop for a second and take any questions on sharing and recruiting and what the purpose of all that is.
Diane, would you like to ask your question yourself to Dave? Or do you want me to ask it? Okay, Diane was asking Dave, why, if she's just mainly interested in one campaign of ours, for example, TMX, she's an anti-pipeline activist and she wants to just be following that campaign. what's the benefit of her having an account? Should she have an account? Does she, what, like in general, why would you like to have an account?
Well, Diane, if you have signed up to take action on TMX on the NationBuilder site, you will have an account. So any interaction just automatically creates an account. The benefit to you would be in the future if you decide to, say, organize 8 or 10 people more directly to kind of take a lead organizing role. We can show you, and you can see if you go to your Start Organizing page, the people who are associated with you. So those are the people that you would like to say, you know, if, where do you live? I didn't hear it. Wherever you live, wherever you live, you'll be able to see the people who are close to you. You can reach out to them directly. Perhaps there's a TMX action that's getting closer to your neighborhood. You want to mobilize the people that you know have taken action before. If you have the account set up, you're going to see all the people who took action based on your sharing or based on your contact, the folks that you emailed, the folks who read your Facebook post. If you get a back-end account and you can see, you know, phone numbers for folks and you decide to call them, you can see the people who responded to your phone call. So it's the systems tools give you information about people who, you know, it just basically shows their action history, so you can understand more about the community. Does that answer your question? Okay.
I would
Any other
just add,
questions?
yeah, I'll just add in something really quickly. I don't see anything in the chat while people are thinking of their questions. You know, for those of you who have worked with us on before elections and you've worked in Call Hub, I think most of the volunteers that I know well would say to me, you know, I'm not here for the glory. I don't need to, you know, I don't need to show people the work I'm doing. And so that's one side of the coin. We're not all about our egos. But on the other hand, we all need something to encourage us to do the work. And that Call Hub, the Call Hub leaderboard, I know is for most people, it's a bit of a like, it's just, it is something that gives you a little bit of incentive. And what we're trying to do is build political power, build our community, and have more, just increase our capacity to make change in the world. So these are just things that that can be helpful.
There's a comment from Sandy here about people who RSVP. They're giving permission to be in the system, and her point was we don't add people's names or information if they just show up at the event. Do you want to say anything more about that, Sandy?
No, that's fine. That makes sense. But I just entered another question. We used to, if we phoned people about an event and they agreed to attend, we used to go in to NationBuilder and enter RSVP, log contact, etc. Is that still part of it?
Yes, that's still part of it. And
Okay.
keep in mind, like the people that you would be phoning to attend an event are already in the system. So
Yeah.
they're people who've either, you know, taken action and ticked that I'd like to volunteer with Dogwood, or they've taken action directly on the site. So yes, as a control panel user who can access the back end and you're phoning volunteers, you can tick yes, they answered, and yes, they will attend, and you can RSVP them to events as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I think I've actually gone through most of the core functions on the site. So here's just a quick review. NationBuilder is designed to link people together. Our system is automatically set up to work at the riding level. So when you sign up and enter a postal code, our system knows that you're in the provincial riding where you live, like Courtenay Comox or Parksville Qualicum or Vancouver Fairview. It shows us who your MLA is. It shows us who the point person for that riding is, and it allows us to build political power in ridings across BC. We also have the ability to sort of detach that system and associate people precisely with, say, the Vote 16 campaign. Good example, young folks who are on the move or who are part of campus teams. It doesn't actually help if they live in Prince George but are on a campus team at SFU. So we also have the ability to sort of form custom teams and disassociate someone's postal code with an organizer. Basecamp makes it easy for you as a user to share actions that are relevant to you, whether they're events or the particular actions that we're working on at a particular time. It has those social share functions built in. There's also jumping off points to our news page and jumping off points to other content. There's also volunteer updates. So if you've missed something in the last little while and you want, this will be recorded. So if you know someone who's interested in digital organizing, you can go back to our volunteer updates page next week when we load the video up and you can share it. And that there's more going on behind the scenes with NationBuilder. Because it is a CRM, we can use it to text, we can use it to call, we can use it to structure teams and associate point people with volunteers. So just the stuff that you see on the front end, we want you to use it. If you're more interested, there's a lot more going on in the back end. So given all of that, I'm going to deliver a hard ask. In organizing, we call the hard ask something that we would like a volunteer to do, a challenge that they can take on. So what I'd like you to do, if you're interested in, is use one of the capabilities of this system to recruit 3 people in the next month to a Dogwood action. So how can we do that? What are the tools that we can use to recruit 3 people? We can use the share buttons on the Take Action page. So whether you're interested in local power or TMX land defense or Vote 16, those are the 3 Take Action pages that we have going. If you know someone who is interested in one of those 3 campaign areas, you can go to that page, you can sign up yourself, or you can use the email, Twitter, Facebook posts to share that with someone and say, hey, my name is Joy, I live in Parksville, I'm concerned about TMX, I know you are too, would you like to work with me to help build the strength that we need to fight this pipeline on the ground? That's the phase we're at. We're in the phase where we're having to show up on the front line, try to stop this pipeline like we did in the Protect Burnett event. You can keep an eye on the events in your neighborhood, and you can sign up for one yourself. And when you receive the auto response email that says, hey, thanks for subscribing to the event, you'll have a link and you can email someone who would like to attend that event as well. So for example, next week here in Comox, we're going to have a local power meeting. That means someone from Viridian Energy is going to show up and talk about getting solar panels on your roof. A couple of electric car owners in the neighborhood are going to come by with their cars and say, this is how much it costs. This is how much I'm saving. We'll have a few electric bikes there, and then we'll talk about what's coming up next on the local power campaign. So you can you can sign up to that event, and then when you receive an email, you can share it. And then the third thing that you can do is just simply to use our page to post to whatever social media system you use. When you do that, people will sign up, they'll be interested, and that will actually recruit someone to the system. So over the course of the month, my ask is for you to recruit 3 people to Basecamp using one of those 3 different tools. When you do, I'm going to now share my screen. Just give me a quick second. they'll show up on your Start Organizing page. So if we go down to scroll through my page, right down the bottom are 29 supporters, 17 of whom are volunteers, some of whom are interns, which we don't actually understand why that's showing up, a little glitch in the system. So, I mean, these are people that I've recruited, over the years, but they will show up. And all those events, anything that you do will actually show up in the back end of our system in our dashboard. So,
Dave, just a sec. Are you
yeah.
showing a list at the bottom? Because we're just seeing the top of the main page.
You're just seeing the top of the main page.
Yeah. Did you scroll down? For some reason, it didn't.
Yeah. Are you seeing the Start Organizing page?
No, we're just seeing the main page.
Okay. Let me.
That's interesting.
Here we are. How's that? Better?
Yes, got it. Yep.
So sorry about that. When you share your links, you're going to start seeing the people list on your organizing page when you log in, because that organizing page knows what your recruiter ID is and knows that you've shared something. So these are the people who I've used social share buttons with or sent recruiter links to, and they've answered. Like this VREC Solar, they actually just responded to something on Twitter. So they're in the system. So that's just kind of how it works. And you should be able to see people who show up in real time if you go back to the site. In the back end, as organizers, we can see the total volume of activity that occurs on the site by going to our dashboard. And in the dashboard, checking the activity. And all the things that have happened in the last little while show up. So this will go back in time, for time immemorial in NationBuilder. You can look at all the types of things that have happened, whether it's a blog post, et cetera, et cetera. So all that stuff is available. We can see it. We can see the leaderboards and who's doing what. So it's very helpful for us to understand if our actions are having an impact. I mean, we know it works when folks start sharing, when folks start participating, like Protect the Burnett event last weekend. We know that's a good idea because a bunch of people showed up, a bunch of people shared it. We did good things, and that's the type of stuff we want to keep doing. So when you all take activity and there's a response, we know it's working, and that helps us be better organizers moving forward. So that's basically it for the front end of NationBuilder. The next step for folks who are really interested in this is a little bit of training on the contact side. How do I email folks who are in my area, or how do I call them, or how do I become a point person so I understand the people, more about the people who live near me? That's NationBuilder 2.0. This has been an introduction to Basecamp, which is the front end, and that's all I've got for information. So over to you for questions, comments, discussions, anything. I got a comment here from Lynn, helping to organize LNG Tilbury related stuff, signed up to learn about digital organizing, not yet sure whether this is a good match for Dogwood, but I really appreciate the info. Thanks for the comment, Lynn. For sure, we can stay in touch on the Tilbury issue. So yeah, let's just stay in touch on that.
Yeah, I can comment a little bit on that, Lynn. I'm also involved. I'm a director with My Sea to Sky, which is, as you probably know, trying to stop the wood fiber LNG project in Howe Sound. And we are cooperating as allies often do, without, sort of behind the scenes. And so I'm in touch with them, and we're planning to reach out to our supporters in the region to get them engaged in their campaign to stop that project. So that there are things afoot. with Dogwood and that project.
Another question from South Okanagan, West Kootenay. What can we do in person on Dogwood Actions? You guys are a hotbed for renewable energy. We'd love you in our local power space. So signing up on the local power page and sharing the local power page with people that you know are close to you in your community. We're going to be introducing some really interesting new concepts in renewable energy called property assessed clean energy. It requires support at like the city council level, the local MLA level. So in the South Okanagan, this is a great area for renewable energy. We'd love to work with you on the ground.
Let me add to that, Dave. Sorry, I keep jumping in, but in this time of virtual meetings, there are really not the geographic barriers that we have to deal with when we're meeting in person. So if you're in the Okanagan and you want to learn more about our upcoming action at the municipal level on PACE throughout the province, you can go to the events page and jump in on any of the team meetings, like whether it's the North Shore team meeting, the Lower Mainland team meeting, anything on the island or Vancouver. Just hop in on a Zoom call with a team, and you'll get the latest, you'll get up to speed on what we're working on in local power and how you can apply it in your area.
Next comment is about social media, and for those who don't, yeah, for sure. I know there's a lot of people who don't use social media. So in that situation, you want to use the email functions. You get the email link if you sign up for an event, you share that link, or if you're on the Take Action page, you can use the email share and email. That will, that bypasses social media. So no problem there. And then another question is, I assume these three would not include current volunteers. Yeah, you won't technically be able to recruit a current volunteer in the system. So ideally, these are people who are new to Dogwood. However, you can still test it. So you can send if one of our volunteers hasn't seen our page, for example, and is really interested in Vote 16, you can send them to the Vote 16 Take Action. If they sign that action up, we'll see what happens. I'm not a NationBuilder 100% expert, so I don't know if that would show up on the leaderboard or not. But try it, we'll find out.
I have a question.
Yes.
In terms of your Dogwood strategy, are you also looking to recruit people who have interacted with your social media account, like via Twitter or whatever, whoever likes your post or tweets it? Are you recruiting that way as well?
Yeah, we have a communications coordinator named Lisa Sammartino, and she just moved into a new role on digital engagement. And her job description involves connecting with people on social media. So yes, the short answer is yes. We have been doing it for years. We haven't done a super great job. We're learning as we go. You'll see on the volunteer sign up space on this site, there's a social media ambassador team that you can volunteer for. Lisa will be helping that group of people to deepen that engagement. So if someone just signs up using Twitter and we know nothing else about them, we'll try to start targeting some engagements to them. So if we have a post on renewable energy, we'll try to target the people who signed up so they can retweet. We're trying to grow our Instagram page, and then Facebook is its own beast. Does that answer your question?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
I happened to notice that we were looking at before, it was Twitter, Facebook, and email. There was a fourth one icon on there as well. It looked like WhatsApp.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that. Perhaps this is not a good time to talk about it. I don't know, but I was just curious.
I have never used WhatsApp. So for those who use WhatsApp, what I imagine would happen it would allow you to connect to your contacts in WhatsApp. I can do a deeper dive into that and find out for you, Glenn.
Thanks for asking, Glenn. Like, I saw that phone icon. I didn't know, but it's very popular for people who don't want to pay for a cell phone, right? They use internet phone. So it's a nice thing to have, and for people who, especially if they're further away. So for people using WhatsApp. Thanks for the question.
The next question that came up in the chat was, do you have a Dogwood writing page for those who don't use Facebook? We're really hoping to bring this over to Basecamp. We hope to have some information in time for this meeting. We've got our organizer, Abby, looking into creating a wall so people can post and comment. For sure, the blog functions on NationBuilder. So if you remember the supporter or the volunteer update page, that's technically a blog page, and we can turn it into a page that allows people to post themselves. So the answer is yes, we will have a writing space for people who don't use Facebook. Give us a couple weeks and we'll get back to you with some more details on that. Thanks, Jane, for tweeting and Facebooking on the TMX issue. I'm glad it was easy to use. So look, I'm open to any feedback at any time. If it comes to you later, you can reach me at dave@dogwoodbc.ca. You can leave a comment on the comment space. We'll be coming back in a couple months with a deep dive on some more of the back end functions. In the meantime, reach out if you have any questions, and for sure, let me know how your Recruit 3 People challenge is working for you. If you need help, reach out, david@dogwoodbc.ca. We're going to end it 5 minutes early because it's August and we should all go do some fun. Thank you so much for attending, and it was great to see everybody, and hope this was useful for you. We'll clean this recording up a little bit and post it on our volunteer updates page. We'll send an email out to everybody when that's happened. And I wish you all a great weekend, and take care out there. Thanks so much.
Dave. This is
Thanks,
very
everyone.
good. Thank you.
For a really good session on NationBuilder. And
Glad you enjoyed it. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend. Take care. All right, so we'll get the video recording for this and just condense it a little bit for editing and get it posted on the update page. Thanks so much, Cheryl, for helping.
You're so welcome. Silly me, I forgot to get a photo. That would have been such a good photo with all those people on there. How did I forget that? I remembered it right when everyone was already leaving. I was like, oh, geez, Cheryl, one thing that I had to do.
Well, since we have the recording, we can take a photo of it.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yes, nice.
Any feedback? Any feedback from you, Jamie? All right, well, I'm going to sign off.
There she is. Hey, Jamie. Oh, she unmuted. I thought she was going to say something. Thanks, Jamie, for jumping into the chat and answering questions when I was like doing whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Great job, Dave. Went really well. And you know what? 23 attendees on a day like this. It's pretty awesome. 23.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Out of 35 or something. Yeah, really good. All right.
I'm going to get a better computer so I can get a better camera and do more of the functions. If we're going to stay in this digital organizing space, I think I'm going to have to make that investment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Talk
Have a
to
great
you soon.
weekend. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jamie.